Welcome. In the last session, I completed about viruses. So in this session, I'm going to discuss about viroids, prions, and lichens. With that, we will be completing this chapter, biological classification. Now, let's begin this chapter with viroids. Okay, so these viroids are infectious agents, which means they get transmitted from one individual to another individual, right? And these viroids are discovered by, so they are discovered by T.O. Diner in 1971. So he discovered in 1971, okay, these viroids. And these viroids are made up of only RNA. No, in last session we studied about viruses, and there we have come to know that a virus is composed of two components, that is nucleic acid and protein, and that nucleic acid can be either RNA or DNA. But now we have come to a situation where we find only RNA, there is no protein or DNA, right? So that's why I have mentioned here it is made up of only RNA. We know its full form, the ribonucleic acid, and this RNA is of low molecular weight. So it has low molecular weight, right? And of course this RNA is a single stranded. So RNA is single stranded and circular. So it is single stranded and circular. So you may find something like this. Okay, so here the nitrogen bases. Okay, so something like this. So this is a circular single stranded RNA molecule. Okay, right. And these viroids, they cause diseases in higher plants. So cause diseases in higher plants. Okay, so one example of disease is the potato spindle tuber disease. So it causes potato spindle tuber disease. So this potato spindle tuber disease is caused by a viroid, and its name is potato spindle tuber viroid. So its name is potato spindle tuber viroid. Okay, so this is the viroid that causes this disease, potato spindle tuber disease. Okay, so that's about viroids. Next, we'll see about prions. Okay, so these prions are proteinaceous infectious particles. So these are proteinaceous infectious particles. Okay, and these prions are made up of only protein. Okay, so in earlier case we have seen viroid that is made up of only RNA, and much earlier we have seen a virus that is made up of the DNA or RNA and protein. But in this case it is made up of only protein, no nucleic acid is present. Okay, so it's made up of only protein, and of course that protein is a misfolded protein. So it consists of a misfolded protein. Okay, and these prions cause neurological diseases in animals. So they cause neurological diseases in animals. Like, for example, bovine spongiform encephalopathy. So in short, it is called BSE. So right. So this is also called. It is also called, right, mad cow disease. So it's a mad cow disease, and this disease is seen in case of cattle. So this disease is seen in cattle. Okay, so actually, as I told, that it is made up of only protein, and that is a, okay, misfolded protein. Okay, so this is say suppose a misfolded protein, and let's say this is a normal protein, is a normal protein, and this is a misfolded protein or abnormally folded protein, you can take. Okay, so when this misfolded protein comes in contact with this normal protein, so when this one comes in contact with the normal protein, then the normal protein will also get converted and gets folded in the same way, how we see this misfolded protein. So this misfolded protein is actually the prion. Okay, right, and then so it results in, okay, so same way. Okay, so how we see this also will become in the same way folded. Okay, right, so this is the normal protein that has been converted, okay, into abnormally folded protein. And as I said, this is a neurological disease, means it is concerned with the brain. So this neurological disease, which means it is, okay, so damages brain tissue. So it damages brain tissue. Okay, and this not only causes disease in animals, okay, uh, but also in humans. So it also causes disease in humans. Okay, so in case of humans, so in humans it causes, okay, Creutzfeldt Jakob disease. So this, in short, we write it CJD, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Okay, so where the brain, so the nervous tissue especially, will get damaged. Okay, so where whatever the proteins which are present in the brain, okay, when they come in contact with this prion, that is a misfolded protein, the proteins in the brain will also get converted to, okay, prion forms, and that is what we call it a neurological disease. And coming to size, okay, so size of prions is similar to the size of viruses. Okay, the size of prions is similar to the size of viruses, right? And because it damages the nervous tissue, the person can go into coma, and finally it results in death of the person. Okay, right, and not only death of the person, I mean, in case of humans, in animals also the same situation can be seen. Okay, so that's about prions. And lastly, we will see about lichens. Okay, So here these lichens are okay symbiotic association between a fungus and an alga. So it's a symbiotic association between a fungus and an alga. So I have already told you in my previous sessions that okay, a symbiotic association is an interaction between two different species where both the species will get benefit. So in this case, the fungus gets benefit and also the alga gets benefit. So the lichen is a symbiotic association between a fungus and an alga. Okay, now the fungal part. So the fungal part is called mycobiont. So the fungal part of the lichen is mycobiont, and the algal part is called phycobiont. Okay, and the phycobiont, it is autotrophic, which means the algal part of lichen will perform the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so that is the algal part performs photosynthesis, right? Coming to the fungal part, that is mycobiont. So the mycobiont is heterotrophic, so it will not perform any photosynthesis, but it provides shelter, then absorbs mineral nutrients, mineral nutrients and water, okay, and passes it to the algal partner. Okay, right? So it will provide shelter to the algal component, and it will also absorb mineral nutrients and also water, and then passes it to the algal partner. Okay, now the algal part will take up all that okay mineral nutrients and also the water, and this one performs okay photosynthesis. And in the process of photosynthesis, we know okay food is synthesized, and some of the food will be taken up by the algal part itself, and the remaining will be supplied to the fungal part, right? And here this symbiotic association, of course, in this association, so these two species are so close that if you separate them, they will not live independently. Okay, and one more point, that the lichens are pollution indicators. The lichens are pollution indicators. So what we mean by they are pollution indicators, so these lichens, they do not grow in polluted areas. Okay, so if you see an area where you don't find these lichens are not growing, then it indicates that area is polluted. So the lichens are pollution indicators, right? So with this we complete this chapter, biological classification, and the whatever that extra information that I will be discussing under need. Okay, and the next chapter that I will be starting in the next session is plant kingdom.